Once in a faraway land, there was a very, very poor man who had a very beautiful daughter. Now, it happened one day that he met the king, and he wanted to make himself seem rather important. "I," he said grandly, "have a daughter who can spin straw into gold." "How interesting," said the king. "Bring her to my palace, and I will put her to the test." When the girl was brought to him, he took her into a room full of straw, gave her a spinning wheel, and said, "If by tomorrow morning you have not spun this straw into gold, you must die." Then he locked the door and left her in the room, all alone.
"Oh, dear," cried the girl. "Whatever shall I do?"
Because, of course, she had no idea at all how to spin straw into gold. But suddenly, the door opened, and in stepped a little man.
"Good evening, girl," he said. "Why are you crying so?"
"Alas, I have to spin this straw into gold, and I don't know how to do it."
"What will you give me if I do it for you?" asked the little man.
"I am very poor," she wept, "and I have nothing of value to give you."
"Well, then," said the little man, "will you promise to give me your first child if you should become queen?"
"Queen," thought the girl. "Me? I'll never become queen."
So she promised, and the little man sat himself in front of the wheel with a handful of straw. The straw became gold. He worked until daybreak, and by then all the straw was spun, and the room was full of gold. Early in the morning, the king came, and when he saw the gold, he could hardly believe his eyes. "This is only a poor man's daughter," he thought, "but where can I find a richer bride?" And he said to the girl, "You shall be my queen." So they were married. And a year later, they had a beautiful child. When the young queen's baby was exactly 1 week old, the strange little man suddenly appeared in her room.
"Now," he said, "you must give me what you promised."
"Oh, no, anything else," cried the queen. "Take all my riches, but leave me my child."
And she wept and moaned and begged, and finally he said,
"Very well. I will give you 3 days. If in that time you can find out my name, you may keep your baby."
During the night, the queen lay awake, trying to remember all the names she had ever heard. And when the little man came the next day, she began.
"Jonathan, Joseph, Jeremiah, Timothy, Titus, Obadiah, William, Henry, Walter, Sim, Reuben, Rufus, Solomon, Jim, Nathaniel, Daniel, Abraham, Roderick, Frederick, Peter, Sam, Casper, Jasper, Nicholas, Pat, Christopher, Jack, Jehoshaphat."
No. At last she had said all the names she knew, and the little man laughed and went away. That night, the queen sent a messenger out to discover every unusual name that anyone in the countryside knew of, and the next day she had another long list.
Xavier, Xerxes, Zittleby, Zorch.
But the little man said, No.
And again he went away. And again the queen sent her messenger out. But when he came back on the last morning, he said, "Not another name have I been able to find, Your Majesty."
"Oh, no," she wept, "no."
"But I did see something strange," said the messenger. Far out at the edge of the forest, I saw a little house, and in front of it, a bonfire was burning. And in front of the fire, a strange little man hopping on one foot and singing, "Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, and then the young queen's child I'll take. Oh, she'll lose the guessing game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name."
"Oh, thank you, cried the queen.
Soon afterwards, the little man appeared.
"Now, your majesty," he thundered, what is my name?"
The queen smiled.
"Perhaps, Tom?
No.
Maybe Dick?"
No.
"Well, then," said Her Majesty, "there's nothing left but Rumpelstiltskin."
"You guessed it, shrieked the little man. "I won't have it, I won't stand for it." And he stamped his right foot into the ground so hard that he sank up to his waist. Then he stamped his left leg so hard that he disappeared completely.
And Rumpelstiltskin was never seen again.